Welcome into the Lawrence Tech Sports Network, the second of our doubleheader. You're looking at the Lawrence Tech men's basketball team with a chance to get to 500 today, a chance to get above 500 in WAC play for the first time in January in this modern era of this Blue Devil program. Concordia team that comes in 4-15, just 3-8 in the WAC. The tip from Bethel is whacked back to Searles, and we're underway inside of the Riddler. Second home game this week for the Blue Devils. A big 17-point win over Aquinas on Wednesday was the largest in the tenure of head coach Josh Pickens in his second season. The step back from Searles, a tough 20-footer off the mark, and it's pulled down by Jalen Thompson for this Concordia team out there with Tyler Black, Gerald Booker, Michael Bradley, who's been in and out of the starting lineup, and Paul Zisk, their big center at 6'9", going up against Jalen Bethel down there. Nice matchup. It's Ty Searles, Carter France, Alec Ivanovic, Devontae Miles again in the starting lineup with Dalen Blakely still out for the Blue Devils. Here's Miles, the senior from Orlando, Florida. A really good first start of the year, and then he's back in the starting lineup on Wednesday, making his third start of the season. Blakely was hurt against Rochester as Ivanovic knocks down the three to get the scoring underway. That's a pleasant sight for this Blue Devil team if they can get him knocking down triples. It'll be big in terms of the momentum and in terms of being able to go inside out. That's exactly what they were able to do on Wednesday, and the stats certainly show it. Sky-high field goal percentage, sky-high three-point percentage on Wednesday for Lawrence Tech. Searles goes down, pops right back up as Black fell on his leg, and now he has the basketball powering into the lane, blocked at the cup by Zisk. And this will stay with the Blue Devils. Zisk held his ground. Bradley helped out a bit. Blue Devils retain possession. Alec Ivanovic, Macomb, Michigan, 6'6" sophomore out of Henry Ford High School. Here's Bethel, the double comes. This defender, Michael Bradley, will be on Searles all night long. Miles' three is wayward, and Concordia gets possession back. Spoke to head coach Josh Pickens before the game, and he told me about the first matchup between these two teams that went in favor of the Cardinals. And he touched on the lack of ball movement, the lack of toughness, and he wants those things to be back, that compete level. The transition defense was something he pointed out in particular. So we'll see how that plays out this afternoon as Zisk turns, fires. Well defended by Bethel. Carter France showing his hops, snaring down the board, and the freshman guard at the controls the other way. Bethel against Zisk. That's a nice matchup down low. Round two goes to Zisk, and back the other way. Here's Thompson with speed. What a cup drive and an easy finish by Jalen Thompson. And it's 3-2 Blue Devils, 17-15 to go here in the first half. This Concordia team has quick guards. Speed on display, no doubt, all afternoon. They can get in the passing lanes as well. A team that has lost close games this year. Spoke to head coach Ricky Yan in his sixth season, and he pointed out how many close games they have been in. His Miles' tough jumper is off the mark into the hands of Zisk, and he's talked about that to his team. Said that, hey, you guys have, they haven't always come up on top in the win column, at least that left column, but they have competed hard and they've been in games. This could be a tight one today. Zisk off to a nice start. Paul Zisk, 6'9" junior from Somerset, Michigan. Could Devontae Miles be an X factor with his rebounding ability for this Blue Devil team? Knowing what Zisk can do, knowing what Bethel can do, not many people know that Miles can come in there and also get about 7.5 boards per game, as Ivanovic is now 2 for 2 from deep. He has all the Blue Devils' points to this point. Bradley, his 15th start of the season. Booker 7-6 now. The Blue Devils trail. They played some tight ones on this home floor this season. But last time out was the first time they had really been in cruise control in that fourth quarter. Pulled away against Aquinas. We saw our Blue Devil woman pull away against Concordia in the first of our doubleheader. Ended up winning, scoring 80+ for the second time in WAC play this year. Searles off the mark from three. Back comes Concordia. You definitely have to get back in transition against the speed of this team. Isaiah Cumberland getting set to check in for the Blue Devils. Thompson with speed. Easy finish. Early 7 points for Thompson, and he has 7 of Concordia's first 9. Timeout, Josh Pickens. 9-6 start for the Cardinals on the road here in the Riddler. A WAC matchup. Blue Devils hoping to get above 500 today in conference play. We'll be back here on LTSN. Welcome back to LTSN, a 9-6 start for Concordia. They've hit their last 4 field goals. Blue Devils 2 for 2 from deep in the early goings. Nice showing today here inside of the Riddler, despite students not coming back to campus until Monday. That's when classes start back up here on the campus of Lawrence Tech. Isaiah Cumberland back on the floor. Bethel back in the posts. Easy work down low against Zisk. Emmanuel Dominguez, a quick point guard for this team. They kick out and the triple try is down from Jalen Thompson. Thompson, Black, Dominguez, Booker, Ritson of the 5 for Concordia defending. Their bench is up and into it. They have confidence after beating LTU the first time around. Searles, Cumberland, Miles, Bethel, and Ivanovic for the Blue Devils. The dump down low off the nice cut, the double clutch attempt off the mark, and this is where you have to get back. The pace from Concordia, nice denial from Miles, and Ivanovic there for the board. Orlando native saves it, but then threw it away. And Searles has to climb up about 5 rows into the seats with 13:51 to go in this first half. A 12-8 start for Concordia and a competitive matchup as anticipated in the early goings. Blue Devils at 8-9 on the season. 5-5 in WAC play. Plenty of positive storylines in this year. 2-0 start to WAC play for the first time ever. Best record ever in the month of January. Shot 50% from the field on Wednesday, 57% from 3 on Wednesday. But in the early goings, it's the Cardinals from 3. That time it's Dominguez. And they have now knocked down 3 triples in a row. A 3-for-3 start from deep and a 7-point lead. Blue Devils looking to weather the storm now. The storyline for LTU to this point has been the ups and downs. That's what comes with what comes with a young roster, as one of their younger players, Bethel, finishes there. But they have been so resilient for their age. I mean, comeback after comeback, it felt like in the early season, despite maybe not winning all of those games, showed the potential of this group, and that's what's been on display. What a nifty spin move there from Thompson, who was off to an excellent start. He has 12 points, 5 of 5 from the field, 2 for 2 from deep, and now a chance to add on one more at the line Blue Devils looking to put out that flame, and he'll have a chance for a freebie to tack on to his already excellent first half. We haven't even played 10 minutes yet. Thompson with 12 points. His first miss of the night comes at the free throw line. Still 5 for 5 from the field, though. Wow. 17-10. Thompson has 12 with the first 17. Carter France looking to answer back. His three around and out. France finished with 9 points last time out against Aquinas. Had back-to-back double-digit games prior to that matchup. Thompson navigating. Wraparound pass intercepted by Cumberland. He emerges out of the pack, speeding into the front court. Zisk blocked the shot, but not before Cumberland was fouled. Cumberland gets the drop off the iron. A player that the more experienced group has talked about as a guy who works hard and really comes at it and goes at it with intent every day. A mature approach to the game. Off the mark on the free throw attempt on the second. Couldn't get that same shooter's hop. Back to their way. You got to be ready. No time to relax. But a travel called. A little bit over anxious there. It was Michael Bradley, the 6'4 senior from Belleville, one of 5 seniors on the Concordia roster. Again, it's a pleasure to be with you. Jason Ross Jr. here instead of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. The women took the first matchup against Concordia. They got back in the win column, a big WAC victory. Our Blue Devils are 3rd still in the conference. It's going to be an airtight race down the stretch, though, on the women's side of things. The Blue Devils, meanwhile, trying to get above 500 for the first time in January. Up and under move there from Miles, and they pull it within 4. Dominguez shovels to Bradley. Thompson, entry feed Zisk, tipped. Cumberland did well to get back defensively. Now Miles, one of the better defenders in the WAC, going up against one of the better offensive players in the WAC. Nice bounce pass. Zisk unable to finish. Kick ball back to their way. It's going in favor of Lawrence Tech. 11:19 to go first half. It's been a fun up and down pace in the early goings. Zisk heads out here. In on the Concordia side, Jordan Winowecki, freshman from Fraser, Michigan. Ivanovic looking for his 3rd triple. Pushing the other way goes Bernard Casanda. Concordia working in front of the LTU band. Thompson's first lefty miss of the game. And back comes Searles, the WAC's leading scorer after his 34-point performance on Wednesday. Carter France, book it. Carter France, he's been spectacular in his freshman season, 5'10" out of Dansville, Michigan. Averaging about 9 points per game, shooting 35% from distance. A Steve Nash-like game. Bradley navigating, kicking. This is going to be an offensive foul going the other way to the delight of that LTU bench. This Blue Devil team went 4-22 last season. At this particular time last year, they were 1-9 in WAC play. Now they have a chance to get above 500, a testament to the high character, and fans have begun to take notice. The message that has been preached every day of pounding the pavement. They're going to get a carry here to send possession back to Concordia. 17-16 now. It's a 6-0 run for Lawrence Tech over the last 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Thompson has cooled off a bit, no longer on the floor. Can the Blue Devils take advantage of it? Head coach Josh Pickens pointed Thompson out to me before the game, so they were ready for that. They knew it could happen and probably would happen, but just a storm that you have to weather in the game of basketball when you're going up against good players. 3 on the shot clock. Heaving here is Gerald Booker. Cumberland the board, and Searles back the other way. Watched by Dominguez. He'll take Dominguez. Fouled, and the scoop layup. Able to pizza pie at home, and it's 18-17 Blue Devils. Searles a bit slow to get up. He'll have a chance to tack on to this lead. A tough dude, Ty Searles. He has had some scintillating performances on this home floor and added another one to his resume on Wednesday, dropping 34, had a huge third that spurred this Blue Devil team to victory, pulling away in the fourth for Josh Pickens' largest victory as the head coach of the Lawrence Tech men's basketball program. Make it now a 9-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 48 seconds. I talked about the resiliency, and it is right on display here. I don't want to say I knew this was coming, but I want to say I may have been right about that. Long 3 from Booker, rebound Bethel. And back comes France. Blue Devils are 7 of 16 from the field. Here's Bethel, a spin and a finish. Couldn't quite get it to drop, but he's going to the line. Chance to extend this run to 11 in a row now, with Cumberland getting set to check back in. Concordia hasn't scored in about 4 minutes, and they have 4 turnovers during that stretch. They're 0 for their last 4 as well. Bethel, only part of his game where he struggled is probably right here at the free throw line. Miles heads up. Talk about high character. Devontae Miles, really cool guy to chat with. Senior out of Orlando. Was a Spurs fan growing up. He has some exquisite post moves. I think we're getting a technical here on head coach Ricky Yan. They've been frustrated with the last few minutes. It was an energetic start, filled with momentum for Concordia behind Jalen Thompson. Jalen Thompson went out the game. Since then, I mentioned that run is now 9 in a row, make it 10 in a row. Searles goes 2 for 2. He has 6 points now. And Bethel right back to the line with one more here. Columbus, Ohio native. Off. Cumberland tapped it, then gets called for over the back. First game between these two teams was a low-scoring affair. Diving to the rim there and getting fouled. Andrew O'Hara. One of their 5 seniors. He'll go to the line here. Had 6 points against Lourdes. This Concordia team coming off an 86-84 thrilling victory over the Gray Wolves on Wednesday. I was at home in Ann Arbor. Once again, you can head over to our LTU social media channels LTU Women's Basketball, their Twitter page, Facebook page, LTU Athletics. That's where you can find all of the post-game coverage. It'll be coming your way within the next day or so on those outlets. And same thing with the men. After this one, we'll chat with head coach Josh Pickens and a couple of players, get their take on this one and the season to this point. Really cool new extended coverage that Blue Devil Sports has jumped into this year with Yellow Flag Productions and state champs is Bethel fighting his way up, muscling his way on a third, fourth chance there. And he'll have a chance to tack one more on and extend the lead to 5. This Blue Devil team really looks calm, settled in. They look calm despite having gone down 7. And that's not typical for a team this young, 11 freshmen. And that could bode well for them moving forward. Really putting plenty of excitement into this men's basketball program. I am always excited to catch this team in action. Curling off a screen here. Most of the starting lineup back out for Concordia. Bradley. A bit flustered though right now with this Blue Devil defense. Clapping the hands. High floater from Thompson. Off the mark. Freshman France. Balletic on the baseline. Tiptoeing his way, and here he comes. Ooh, threw it behind Searles. Bit of a miscommunication as France ran into traffic. Paul Zisk back in, and that battle between him and Bethel can resume in the paint. Over halfway into this first half. The aforementioned battle between Zisk and Bethel, but they kick it out for 3. It's Bradley. Skying for the board was Cumberland, a tad bit out of control. And it went off of Ty Searles. Producer Kia Tyus, Jason Ross Jr. with you, Ali Hadi, Jenna Skalski putting together highlights that I mentioned earlier. Corner 3. This team got off to a 3-for-3 start from distance, cooled off a bit, missed their next 3, but that cuts it to a 2-point game. That was just the first made field goal in the last 7 attempts for the Cardinals. A jab from Cumberland. Well, that's the mismatch against Zisk. Nifty crossover, in rhythm off the mark. Thompson with 12 points leading all scores. Dumps to Zisk. Had a bit of a mismatch there on the switch, but they go around the perimeter. Diving or wrapping around there was Bradley. Searles stepped in the passing lane, but out of bounds with 18 on the shot clock. Bradley, deft move to the rim. And Michael Bradley, he has 2 points, his first bucket of the game there. Bradley coming off a 24-point outing, a career high against Lourdes as Searles triggers from deep off the mark. Here's Thompson. Can he and Bradley get going today? Zisk pumps, fouled. It's the first on Searles. Zisk just a 51% free throw shooter. He had 6 points on 3 of 3 shooting against Lourdes. Goes 0 for 2 though there at the line. Blue Devils come back the other way, shooting 43%. Searles crossed left and dribbled right. Blocked by Zisklo, the denial from the 6'9" big man. He's protected the rim pretty well there in this first half for Concordia. Austin Harless, sophomore in for Concordia. Holly, Michigan native. Now a turnover that though went back there. It's a tie game. And the scoring drought for the Blue Devils that has led to this run. Ball goes out of bounds but stays with Concordia. Cardinals jumped out to a 17-10 lead. Blue Devils answered back with a punch of their own. But now Concordia, they have withstood a run from Lawrence Tech. And we find ourselves with a tie ball game. Thompson slithering to the cup. Couldn't get the roll. Concordia bench wanted a foul. LTU looking to get ahead of Thompson. There's a couple of players still back there. Behind the back pass from Cumberland. Bethel couldn't finish. Up and down we go. Josh Pickens pointed out the transition defense to me before the game. Concordia slows things up here though. Harless. Hand off to Thompson, who slithers in again. Couldn't finish again, and the Blue Devils have numbers again. Cumberland. Thompson able to race back defensively and get on Ivanovic. Bethel. Traveling violation. Few frustrating possessions in a row for Jalen Bethel. Blue Devils are 1 for their last 7. Haven't scored in almost 4 minutes. Timeout called on the Blue Devils side. 24-24, 4:17 to go, first half. You're watching Blue Devil basketball on LTSN. Welcome back to LTSN, a 24-24 game. Jason Ross Jr. here with you. Michael Bradley will drive and kick to Harless. 4 minutes to go, first half. It's been a fun one to this point. Blue Devils have been involved in their fair share of fun games. Harless looking to have fun from distance. Off the mark, and Carter France, who has hit a 3 today, will calmly dribble into the front court. France looking for his second 3. Tyler Black, 6-foot guard from Forest Hills, Michigan. Off the window and gives the Cardinals the lead back. Jalen Bethel said as a team, we've always known we could put together a performance like the one they had on Wednesday. Said it was all about kind of making it come together, and they put it on display. Won by 17 on Wednesday. Here is Bethel having a frustrating latter half of this first half. Back to their way, extending the Concordia lead is Booker. His first field goal was 0 for 3 up to that point. It's a 7-0 run for Concordia. Blue Devils on a 5-minute stretch without a bucket. Cumberland with a runway off the iron. And this drought continues. Can you weather the storm? Have to get back. Hanging floater is down from Black. It's 9 in a row for the Cardinal and a 6-point lead. Their largest is 7. It's been a half of runs. First it was the Cardinal. Blue Devils took that punch, then answered back. Now the Cardinals throwing another haymaker. Who can have a good ending to this first half? The Blue Devils, it feels like they need it. In tight again, late in the shot clock again. Bethel in trouble, lost it. Cardinals bench is back up. Black, Harless off the bench, whirling into the paint. Bethel to the board. They've quieted the Riddler. This crowd looking for a reason to get back on their feet. Fun college basketball Saturday. So we get into the month of January and these games start getting more and more important. A turnover there and this young team looks a bit flustered right now. Searles, their senior leader and the WAC's leading scorer, getting set to check back in. Just over a minute to play. That could be big. Three comes up well short. Josh Pickens also wants Sana Sissawa to get back into this game. Spoke to Sana after that Wednesday win, and he told me that defense wins games, flat out. And they're going to get back into that groove. Down 6 with 1:11 to go in this first half. Intense timeout for the Blue Devils, down 6 with 1:11 to play in this first half. They led by 5 at one point, also trailed by 7 at a different point. Ty Searles back in the game. Shot clock down to 8. Searles into traffic. That's just what they needed. A chance to cut it down to 3. It's a big bucket right off the bench from Ty Searles. Right on cue. Cumberland back in for Sissawa. Searles 84% at the line. That's 5th in the WAC. Couldn't finish the three-point play there, but he cuts it down to 4. Thompson got off to a 4-for-4 start in this game. Seven for Thompson on the shot clock. Step back against Miles. Give it to him. That's a nice play there from Jalen Thompson. He's a lethal shooter, a lethal scorer, and hits another one there. Searles looking to answer back with 5 on the game clock. Navigating in, layup came up short. Half-court heave. It's going to be a 7-point lead for the Cardinals going into the locker room. That matches their largest of the game. A big 3 there from Jalen Thompson on the step back to wrap up this first half. Blue Devils looking to answer back in the second half. We'll have it for you when we return here on LTSN. Welcome back to the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. The Blue Devils trail by 7 after the first half. Concordia definitely had the upper hand toward the latter half of that opening half and really ended the half on a nice note. And now they're going to have possession to kick things off. This Blue Devil basketball team hoping to get above 500 in January for the first time ever in conference play. They're currently 5th in the WAC. Concordia down at the bottom of the pack, only above UNOH. Concordia at 3-8 in conference play. And to the rim there goes Booker. And they got off to a really nice start to the first half. Then cooled off when Jalen Thompson exited the game. Blue Devils took advantage of that, but now this is their largest deficit at 9. Miles hoping to get going in this second half, making his 3rd start of the season. And now the Blue Devils turn it over, and Concordia will get it back with a chance to extend the lead to double digits. In our first game of the day, we saw the Blue Devil women go down early in the 3rd quarter to kick off the second half. It was a 10-0 spurt from Concordia out of the break. The women were able to withstand that run, weather the storm, then clawed their way back and pulled away in emphatic fashion, winning by double digits. Final score and that one ended up being 84-65. Right now the Blue Devils trail 35-26 in the men's game. Bradley. Cumberland there for the board. Ty Searles, 7 points, just 2 of 10 shooting though after his 34-point performance on Wednesday. But he found it in the second half on Wednesday against Aquinas. Can he do that again today? They'll need it from him. Errant entry pass to Bethel, who was defended well, and Thompson looking to take advantage the other way. Kicking outside for the open three-point attempt from Tyler Black off the mark. Thompson on the reload. Started 3 of 3 from deep in this one. Who's this going to go to? It'll go to LTU. Battle on the baseline there between Black and Searles. Devontae Miles back in for Lawrence Tech. Searles, Ivanovic, Cumberland, Miles, Bethel. It's been an excellent turnaround this season for Lawrence Tech. Energy and excitement around this program. Bethel couldn't finish there. He has really struggled over his last 5-6 field goal attempts, and now that frustration showing. Got off to a decent start, but he's missed his last 4 or so. But the Blue Devils will retain possession here with a fresh shot clock. Have to put that one behind them and reset here. Searles against Thompson. Excellent matchup. Nice steal there and a 2-on-1 the other way. Thompson, his lefty layup, no. Second chance here, soaring in on the retrieval off the board went Booker. He's got 6 points on 3 of 5. And it's up to 11 for Concordia. Just a 4-15 team that seems to have a lot of confidence against this Blue Devil team this season. 37-26, the Concordia lead. 17:29 to go, second half. Welcome back to LTSN. 17:29 to go in this second quarter. A 37-26 28-26, Concordia lead. A look there behind Devontae Miles at Dalen Blakely, who is out again today with that elbow injury. 5 on the floor right now. Searles, Cumberland, Ivanovic, Miles, and Bethel. Both Blue Devil teams dealing with injuries today. Hope Dollarhide and C.J. Bannister out on the women's side. They've defended Searles very well. This team has quick guards with lateral quickness on defense, and they have limited Searles to now 2 of 11 shooting. The Wax leading scorer with 7 points in this one. And a blocking foul the other way, and a chance to get this lead even higher. And again, Concordia at 4-15 on the season, 3-8 in the conference. Just a 1-9 road record. But they have performed well inside of the Riddler this afternoon. Thompson, that's one area at the line where his percentages go down quite a bit, 56%. As Cumberland heads out here. The Blue Devils are shooting 30% in this game. Concordia's field goal percentage defensively, what they allow teams to achieve, is at about 48% on the season. And that is dead last in the WAC. Can LTU eventually find a way to take advantage of that, go on a run? Down 9 here with a lot of time to go. Bradley. Open Thompson. Got it. Jalen Thompson, 18 points now, 7 of 13 shooting. That was his 4th triple. He's hit 4 or 5. He also has 8 rebounds. This all coming in 19 minutes. Another steal here, another break. The Blue Devils having trouble with turnovers today. Searles caught up there. It was a tie-up, but they're going to give a foul, I guess, to Searles. After the steal from Booker led to the fast break. Concordia with 10 points off turnovers today. 12 turnovers for Lawrence Tech, just 4 for Concordia. $14 is the largest lead of the game for the Cardinals. Again, a team that is just 1-9 on the road. They have quieted this crowd. Blue Devils need to reach into their back pocket and find an extra boost of energy here. Miles working against Zisk. Mismatch, had to kick it out. Searles stopping. Tough shot, close range. Board from Miles, he finishes. Devontae Miles, one of the best rebounders in this conference at 6'4". He snares down to shade under 8 rebounds per game. That's 6th in the conference. Here's Bradley. Emmanuel Dominguez now in the backcourt with Jalen Thompson. It's a speedy backcourt for Concordia. 6 on the shot clock here. Dominguez. Another 3 for the Cardinals. That's 7 in this ball game, and they're up 15. No timeout. They'll just weather the storm here. Concordia ended the first half with an 11-1 run. That's bled over into the second half. Searles just trying to find a way to get going. We'll see if he can do it at the free throw line. Again, slow to get up, taking another hard foul. Blue Devil fans on the edge of their seats every time they see him slow to get up. He is the WAC's leading scorer, and perhaps a couple attempts at the free throw line could get some confidence in his eyes. Typically we see shooters go to the line, maybe knock down a couple, and they get into their rhythm. Could that happen here for Searles with 14:42 to go in this second half? An 84% free throw shooter. That's best for 5th in the WAC. First takes a kind hop and then drops down for him. O'Hara in for Concordia along with Gerald Booker. Nice crowd today here inside of the Riddler. Looking for something to cheer for on this Saturday afternoon. Blue Devils are back home on January 23rd when they take on Madonna, team that they beat early on in WAC play. That was a part of the 2-0 start that they got off to in conference play. First time LTU has ever started 2-0 in conference play. That'll be a stretch of 3 in a row on the home floor. 2 of those 3, though, non-conference. They'll play Finlandia University as another 3 goes down for Concordia, draining it and pouring it on here in the second half. Blue Devils need a bucket now. Great Lakes Christian College, also another part of that previously mentioned home stretch for the Blue Devils after 2 in a row on the road. Siena Heights and Indiana Tech. They'll travel with the women to those sites on the 16th and the 18th, on the 19th of the month. A bucket there, and we'll go to the breather. 48-33, the Concordia lead here inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. 13:53 to go, second half. This is a Blue Devil team with the ability to come back in games. We've seen it this season. We've seen it on this home floor in particular, and we've seen it in WAC play. Can they make it happen? A January stage here for both of these teams. The Blue Devils in need of a comeback. 13:42 to go in the second half, approaching the midway point. Catch and shoot 3. They have been hot from distance, to say the least, in this second half. 50% from downtown for Concordia. That's the kind of afternoon it's been to this point for Searles. Kind of struggling from the field, still looking for his mark. 4:15 now, but Miles there to clean it up. You have afternoons like that as a shooter. Again, Searles coming off a 34-point performance. That's not even his best this season. Had a 37-point outing earlier this year in non-conference play. There's Booker. Nice hook pass there for O'Hara, but a foul before the dish. This will go back to Lawrence Tech. Concordia, a 4-15 team, a 3-8 team in the WAC, but their record is deceiving, as Ricky Yan expressed to me before the game. They've lost close ones, but have competed. Lost a few by less than 5 points. Ricky Yan in his 6th season at the helm. Head coach Josh Pickens in his 2nd season, manning the bench for Lawrence Tech. Competitive league this year. Lawrence Tech has joined the mix. 8-9 on the season, 5-6 in WAC play. 5-5 rather in WAC play. Searles muscling a bucket through there. Just kind of energizing one to go down. An 11-point game. You need a defensive stop, though. They got one last time. Bethel. Entry feed O'Hara. Miles looking to hold his ground. O'Hara, a late foul. That's a deflating possession as Miles held his ground. Not sure who they called this against. Didn't look like Miles should have been called for a foul there. His arms were up the entire time. Perhaps they said he maybe reached over at the last second. O'Hara, meanwhile, 2 attempts at the free throw line. Senior, one of 5 seniors on their roster. Two for two, and then he heads right out, and Zisk comes back in. Miles, one of 4 players in double figures against Aquinas. Hasn't really felt like the same energy has been there. But can they spark the energy on this end? Miles, a 2-on-1 fouled. .11:42 to go in the second half, a 50-47 Concordia lead. Senior at the line, gets the first to go. Busy month of January for the Blue Devils. Still 6 games left. I mentioned 3 of those will be at home. This is the second free throw. Miles goes 2 for 2 to make it 50-39. It's this end of the floor, though, where they feel the defense wins games. Need to chalk together some stops. You know they have the ability to do it. It's been the threes off of screens. There was another look for Dominguez. Decided to drive and gets it back out to a good three-point shooter in Thompson. Thompson tries again. Got it to go again. Jalen Thompson, he's been hot, and he eclipses the 20-point mark there with another triple. His 5th of the game, 5 for 6. Concordia, 5 of their last 6 from the field overall. Those threes have just been deflating every time the Blue Devils can get a shot to go. Ivanovic looking to answer back. He's got 2 in this game. Ivanovic, a guy who has dealt with some ankle problems this year. Hasn't been as efficient as last season as Dominguez goes slithering his way into the paint and finishing with the left hand. Lead is right back up. Concordia, 6 of their last 7 from the field now. Hasn't really felt the same as Wednesday for this Blue Devil team in terms of defensive energy. Carter France unable to get the hop. Black. Nice hesitation and go. Tyler Black with 9 on 4 of 7. Shooting 51% from the field, 50% from three-point range. Are the Cardinals. Bethel on the face-up. Just 3 of 7 this afternoon. Nice job there against Zisk, though. Down 16. Concordia Cardinals, they look calm on the road here. That hasn't been the theme for them this season. 1-9 away from Ann Arbor. But they've had the Blue Devils number. Thompson steps into another. This kid is on fire. Jalen Thompson has 24, 6 of 7 from deep. What a performance from the senior out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, a kid who decided to stay home. He is performing this afternoon. Not much you can do about that. 60-41 with 9:35 to go in the second half. Welcome back to Lawrence Tech University, where classes get underway on Monday, but it's our second basketball game of the week. 60-41 is the Concordia lead. Haymaker after haymaker from Jalen Thompson has really cut into this Blue Devil performance today. 60-41, the lead now. Concordia has knocked down 4 of their last 4 attempts from the field. Jalen Thompson goes out to Ivanovic. The repost. Double comes. Searle is on the cut. Searle is just 5 of 17 today after a 34-point performance against Aquinas that saw him go 13 of 20 from the field. It was absolutely incredible in the second half. Went 7 of 9 in the second half. Went 3 of 5 from deep. 18 points in that second half. Bethel at 7 in the second half against Aquinas. Searle's off the mark on that free throw attempt. It's been a frustrating day for this Blue Devil team. Still 9:15 to go. Still 9:15 to end it on a high note. And this one's certainly not over. That's plenty of time. If you can get on a run, you'll have to string together some shots from distance. There's no doubt about that. Blue Devils are just 3 of 13 from deep. Actually got off to a 2 of 2 start, though. First 2 buckets came from downtown. Bradley looking for Zisk. Out of his reach, and he stepped out of bounds. Pleasure to be with you again today. Jason Ross Jr. with producer Kia Tyus and Ali Hadi running the cameras. Some basketball in the early afternoon before we head to playoff football this afternoon. Can't wait to see how those games shake out. Colts and Chiefs getting set to get underway. In Dallas and LA tonight. Tomorrow, nice matchup between the Chargers and Patriots. Philadelphia and New Orleans as well. Philadelphia putting together a bit of a run under Nick Foles again. He's driving there, goes Black. Can't wait to see Patrick Mahomes tonight in his first playoff start. Andrew Luck and the Colts, hottest team in the NFL right now. That should be a fun display. Snow in Kansas City. It's heard 6 inches down there. And then the warm weather of Los Angeles. The Rams will host Dallas. Meanwhile, Jalen Thompson. It's been all sunshine and rainbows for him today. 25 points on 6 of 7 from three-point range. In 24 minutes, 9 of 15. It's been efficient. So efficient. France tried to hook it around for Bethel. off a body, and it'll stay here. Devontae Miles, senior from Orlando, hopping into the paint and finishing with that right hand. Once again, all of our post-game coverage of this one, and from our women's game earlier today, the Blue Devils took down Concordia on the women's side of things for a big WAC victory to remain third in the conference. Can catch highlights from earlier this season as well. Video highlights of games, interviews, and much, much more on the LTU Athletics YouTube channel. Here's Searles. Able to get the roll there, and it's 63-46. Searles' first three-point make of this game was 0 of 4 up until that point. Bradley, 6'4" guard from Belleville, Michigan. Thompson with Searles in his left hip pocket. Thompson, mismatch. Shovel to Zisk. A little too hot to handle there. And it'll go back to Lawrence Tech. $20 points in the second half for Lawrence Tech right now. 30 for Concordia. It was a 45-point second half that the Blue Devils pieced together on Wednesday as Searles looking for a second consecutive three. Off the iron, and back comes Concordia. Such a good transition offense with the speed that they possess. Probably see them slow it down a bit over the final 6 minutes or so of this game. Zisk has been a problem down low. Huge body at 6'9", a lot of mass down there. This stays with the Cardinals and a fresh shot clock. Ricky Yan has to be satisfied with how his club has been calm today. Black appeared in 11 games as a freshman after an illustrious high school career. Son of Ray and Tasha Black. Here is Bradley, the senior, puts it up and in. Freshman from Dansville, Michigan, Carter France. On a really nice 3-game stretch here for him. 2 of the last 3 have been double-digit performances. The one that wasn't was a 9-point game. Time is dwindling on the Blue Devils. Cumberland doesn't take too many threes. Off the mark there. And it remains a 19-point game. Cardinals are just 1-6 since beating Lawrence Tech back on December 8th. And they appear to be well on their way to sweeping the season series with the Blue Devils. It's been an up and down year for Lawrence Tech. Plenty of positives, plenty of positive storylines coming into this game in particular. They had a chance to go above 500 in conference play for the first time in January in the modern era. They probably won't do that today. But, I mean, the one downside has to be finding that consistent level of energy if you're Lawrence Tech. Reading out the scores of their last 3 games, you beat Rochester in a huge game, a win against a team that was a couple of games over 500 in this very competitive conference. Then you go and play Lourdes and Sylvania, lose 89-67, 22-point loss. Come back, beat Aquinas 77-60. but now once again in danger of losing by 20 plus to Concordia. It comes with growth, obviously, a matter of finding that consistency. Bethel hasn't found that consistency today. You can hear head coach Ricky Yan yelling out, reverse it, reverse it. Thompson finds it and has the ball in his hands with 5 on the shot clock. Takes a long three. Wouldn't have been surprised if that went down. That is just his second miss from deep, now 6 of 8 from downtown. Another turnover here. That's the 8th for Lawrence Tech, or 14th rather for Lawrence Tech. And Concordia has capitalized off those turnovers. Once again, 14 turnovers for Lawrence Tech today. Came in averaging about 13 and a half. Concordia has hit 7 of their last 9 from the field, hoping for their 5th win of the year. The ball movement has been exquisite around the perimeter. They've really dealt it around with confidence. Even late in the shot clock, they don't look like a team that's 1-9 on the road. Very calm. Dominguez, his 3, short. Harless battling for the board. Nice behind the back move from Siswa. Searles quickly in transition. An easy finish with the right hand. We'll go to another break with 3:25 to go in this half. It's 68-48. Cardinals looking to close it out. You're watching Blue Devil basketball on LTSN. Welcome back to the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Blue Devils trailing by 20. Having a performance that they'll hope to forget moving forward. Going on the road to play Siena Heights and a 25th ranked Indiana Tech team. They will watch the film of this one. Very astute team. It's one of the reasons I think they have been better than most predicted them to be. I mentioned they are 5th in the WAC. Everyone predicted them to finish last in this conference. That hasn't been the case. And you can credit that to the message that head coach Josh Pickens has preached. They'll bounce back, there's no doubt about it. Miles driving. Everyone's kind of struggled from the field today. They haven't really gotten to the rhythm that we saw certainly against Aquinas on Wednesday. Searles still with 19 in this one, but not quite the consistency that he had against Aquinas in that second half. Now the WAC's leading scorer at 21 points per game. Shade under 22. Carter France. His second 3 of the game gives him 6 points. 32 minutes tonight for the freshman from Dansville. Dominguez against Ivanovic. Black. This is a deep Cardinal team. Perhaps they can make a push up until the... As Ivanovic knocks it down, perhaps they can make a push into the top 8 seeds in this conference. Top 4 hosts in the WAC tournament. Tornado run for Lawrence Tech over the past 2 minutes, ending this game on a high note. But there's the shot to snap that run, stemming the tide. Zisk It was the first field goal in the last 5 minutes or so for Concordia. 70-54, the Concordia lead now with 80 seconds to play in this second half. This one all but wrapped up. Simply is down now to what do you take away from it? All cosmetic now. Bernard Kursanda with 6 on the shot clock for Concordia. Again, this Blue Devil team will drop the season series with the Cardinals. Drop to 5-6 in WAC play, so a chance to get back to 500. You got a Siena Heights team coming up that is 4th in the WAC. It's 7-3. It'll be a tall task, a team that is 10-7 overall, and then 25th ranked Indiana Tech, program that is just absolutely killing it on the women's side and the men's side. Indiana Tech 10-0 on the women's side. Cornerstone, though, at the top of the conference, 8-2. Vander Slees recently set the Cornerstone rebounding record. Indiana Tech Fair recently won WAC Player of the Week. So, not an easy run down the final stretch of this WAC conference. Blue Devils dropped this one. They've dropped 2 of their last 3, but they go 1-1 this week. 70-54, the final. Once again, post-game coverage coming up here on LTSN. It was a pleasure to bring it to you. 70-54, your final. Signing off, I'm Jason Ross Jr. alongside producer Kia Tyus and Ali Hadi. Have a wonderful afternoon. Enjoy the playoff football. Blue Devil women take their matchup against Concordia. Blue Devil men drop it 70-54.